Hello, my name is Dr. Daly, and in this video I'm going to give you a walkthrough of PSY 230 personality theory. My goal with this video is to help you understand how to navigate the class, where to find everything that you need to be successful with my online courses, and I teach several of these now. My goal out of the box is always to make sure that students have every opportunity to understand completely what's expected of them, where to find their materials, and how to basically navigate the online spaces that you're going to need to use throughout the semester. So I'm going to start with D2L. Some of you will be very familiar with D2L. Some of you may not be all that familiar. So right now I'm logged on as a student, so hopefully D2L looks very much like what you would see when you log on and start interacting with the course. You'll want to start with the Start Here button, and there are a set of pages. I'm not going to do the orientation to the course page because that's where this video will be sitting after I'm done recording it. That orientation is really important because it's basically just me walking you through. If you're listening to me now, you've found the video. In the Welcome to the Course module, and notice there are these buttons here for downloading, going to links. This one here enlarges what you're seeing on the screen, so you may want to use that a lot. This page, the welcome page, has my contact information and the location of my physical office. My schedule this semester is fairly flexible. I have 2 in-person classes on Tuesday, Thursday, and I have your class, which is an online course. I will be in my office every Tuesday and Thursday. I will be in the office Mondays and Wednesdays, kind of unpredictably. So your best bet for setting up a time to talk with me is through my bookings page, and that link is posted right here. Basically what bookings does, it's part of Microsoft Office. It allows you to schedule a time on my calendar that doesn't interfere with other things that I have already scheduled. On the D2L page, you'll find basically all of the same information that is contained in your syllabus. So you can find information like the course description, the purpose of this course, and the course learning outcomes and objectives, as well as their connection to our department's learning goals. So I'm not going to read on videotape here the course outcomes. You can read those on your own. But just to give you a general introduction, personality theory is what we call a survey course. It is coverage of a specific sub-area within psychology. If you remember back to your intro to psych class, there was a chapter called personality, and basically this is the full semester coverage of things related to that. This is a 200 level course, so it's intended for students who have taken an intro to psych course in the past, either high school intro course or an AP course or the intro course here at Mount Union. There is an assumption that you have some of that introductory understanding of what psychology is all about. This course, if you're a major in one of our 3 majors, fits in this category of social developmental courses, so it does count toward the major in that area. It can also count as an elective for all of our majors and for minors as well. Your syllabus is posted here in a variety of forms, depending on what you want and what you need. There is the syllabus in PDF form, in Word form. I also like to separate out just the schedule, just the calendar, so you have the course schedule in those formats as well, that you can print out or download to meet your needs. I started doing that a couple of years ago because I had several students who were like, I don't want to have to print out a 15-page syllabus. I just want the schedule. So if that's something that you would like to have, they are posted here. The PDF versions you can open automatically and read them online. If you want to download them, you can download them. All of my contact information is here, just as it is on D2L, as are the course description, the prerequisites, all the learning outcomes and connections to the departmental goals. We'll come back to the syllabus in a little bit just to make sure we keep connecting the dots there. The schedule, as I said, is just a pop out of only the calendar so that you can see exactly what your reading assignments are and what your due dates are for various assignments for the class. You may have heard, you may have taken some of my other courses, but I typically require that students who have textbooks as assigned reading, that they access their textbooks through an online site called Perusal. I know that there are some students who are absolutely not a fan. I get that. I understand. I find value, particularly in my online courses, to Perusal, however, because it is one of the only ways that I can create an environment where I have meaningful and substantive interaction with you as a student. And it's pretty much the only way that I can create an environment where you can have meaningful interactions with your classmates in this online context. My lectures are on video so that you can watch them or listen to them anytime you want. Reading through Perusal, and I'll take you there and show you last year's class so that you can get a sense of what I mean. But Perusal is basically social media for reading. It's a way for you to be able to interact with me and interact with your classmates as you're doing your reading assignments. So when you go to Perusal, you'll need to create an account if you don't already have one. After you do that, you log in. And if you're wanting to join a course, you can enter an enrollment code. So if I go back here, this is the enrollment code right here. And all that does, Perusal is kind of a two-step process to get to your textbook. You enroll in the class by entering that code right here. Then, once you try to open an assignment, it will ask you for a purchase code. And that purchase code is something that you'll need to get from the university store if you are using the Rater Ready program for your books. If you are not using Rater Ready, you will be prompted to enter a credit card number in order to purchase the rental of your textbook. So I can show you, let's see here, 2:30. This would be from spring of 2023. And basically what you find, the first time you click on an assignment and you click this button called Open, it's going to prompt you to either enter a purchase code or to purchase access. Once you're done with that and you open your reading, what you'll see is the textbook. And then if you click on these balloons over here to look at conversations or to start a conversation, this is what you'll see. And for this class was in 2023. I start off the conversation by asking people to get started. And then you have all kinds of ways in which people interact with one another. When you post something, what you do is you highlight a piece of text, and then a bubble will open up for you to make a comment. These in Perusal are called annotations. So your goal is to interact with your reading and make insightful comments, ask questions. You will be scored. You have to make a minimum of 3 annotations per reading assignment. And you're given a score basically based on the cognitive complexity of what you post. If you say, I agree with this, or wow, that's interesting, those are valid things to say. However, they're not going to get you full credit score. What Perusal is looking for and what I'm looking for in the way I've set up the class is for you to make meaningful comments that show that A, you have read the section that you've highlighted, and B, that you are taking your thinking beyond just the reading. So if we go back to conversations here, here a student has asked a question, and I'm responding to that question. And in this case, the question itself led to a full credit score for this particular student. And when I interact with students, I go on to really talk about, I read every post that people make. I try to respond to every question. So here's a case where you have a student asked a question, another student responded to the first student's question, and then I weighed in as well. I frequently will give you links to additional materials. Again, my whole goal with using Perusal is to create opportunities for you to have meaningful interactions with both me and your classmates. Now, if I open up your actual class, so it will be spring 2025 for Perusal, you'll notice all of the deadlines and due dates are posted. The readings are in sequential order when they're due. Just a reminder, you're expected to make at least 3 annotations per reading assignment. So 3 annotations for your first assignment by January 18th at 11:59 p.m. I have it set up so that you should be able to see feedback immediately. And, you know, if you've never used Perusal before, it's a steep learning curve, but you'll catch on. And it's not, my goal is not to produce some kind of bell curve with people struggling to do the work. I mostly just, I want you to read and I want you to interact with your classmates. Those are my key goals with using Perusal. So when you access, remember, it's a 2-step process. The first step is for you to enroll in the class, and that's where this class code comes in. Then you will need to access, actually open the textbook. So you click on an assignment and it'll prompt you to enter a purchase code from your bookstore or to enter credit card information so that you can rent the book for the semester. Speaking of the bookstore, you need to have interacted with the bookstore to get your materials. Now, I'm very unfamiliar with what that looks like from a student perspective, so if you're struggling with that part of the process, go over there and talk to them or call the university store for assistance. Now, where you're going to spend most of your time when you're on D2L working with my class is the weekly modules. Each module, the way I've set them up, working with the Center for Faculty Development, I have an overview for you for the week and a short video just to run over those things as well. There are weekly learning objectives for you to follow, and then a set of tasks. Below that are the lecture videos that you will be expected to watch during the week. When you're looking at the weekly tasks, these are, I don't know what they're called, accordions, something like that. The first task for week 1 is to get access to your book and get into the Perusal page. The second task is to get yourself familiar with that. Then I want you to read and post your annotations before the deadline. And then I want you to watch your lecture videos. Now, the first week, I give you a break. I don't have a quiz over material that you're reading. So I just want you to get into your book, start interacting with your classmates, and watch your lectures. And then next week, when we get into content, so beyond just the introduction part, then you'll start having assessments over each chapter. So to show you that, when we get into week 2, where you'll be reading about and studying the work of Sigmund Freud, I have a little opening, your overview, your learning outcomes, and then your week 2 tasks. And this will be what most weeks look like. There will be a personal reflection each week, and after I close out this screen, we'll jump over to the drop boxes. That's where those personal reflections will come in. Each week, you'll do a personal reflection before you read, before you interact with your text. It's designed to get you started, get you thinking by giving you a task that's related to the content you're going to be reading. Then I want you to read your chapter. So you'll be reading chapter 1 on perusal and making your annotations. Then watch your videos. There are PDFs of the PowerPoints if you want to take notes and read along with the video presentation. And then finally, there's the chapter quiz. The quizzes are designed to essentially determine your level of mastery of the concepts and ideas that were presented in the reading. So the chapter quiz is what you should, study in order to prepare for them. Is, I always recommend that students take notes when they read and when they are paying attention to lecture, because the physical act of taking notes is a really good way of solidifying information and helping you understand what the information means. So each week, what you're typically going to have is personal reflection, reading, videos, and a chapter quiz. Now let's jump up to the Dropbox, which is where your personal reflections will be posted. So each personal reflection, basically you're given 2 options for what to do. And these are reflection activities that are associated with your textbook. So you'll notice as you're reading that you'll see these options for doing reflection within your textbook. So the first one, you have 2 options. You can talk about early memories, or you can think about defense mechanisms. When I score your reflections, these are, the personal reflections are very low stakes. I really want you to do it. I want you to document that you've done the activity by describing what you did and then reflect on it. So relatively low stakes. What do you submit? In this box, you can directly type your reflection in the box, or you can, if you write your reflection in Google Docs or in Word, you can copy and paste it into this text box. It's not intended to be long. I just want you to do the activity and give me a mindful reflection. You give me 2 sentences, I'm not going to give you full credit. You give me a solid paragraph describing what you did for the activity and what the outcome of that experience was, then I'm going to be happy. So that's how the Dropboxes work. Quizzes are posted here. Each quiz, you will need to use the lockdown browser that controls some of your access to other online sources when you're taking your quiz. The quizzes, once you open them up, it's going to prompt you to launch the lockdown browser. You do get 3 attempts allowed, which means you can take the quiz. Some students like to take the quiz before they even do their reading, just to see what they already know, because some of the material was presented in your intro class. But and then take it again after they read, after they watch the videos for the lectures, and basically it goes straight to the grade book. Whatever your highest eventual score is the one that sticks. There's no fancy math involved in those. So that's basically it. Your weeks are going to look remarkably the same week to week as we move through this historical kind of journey to look at how psychologists have understood personality over time. So just remember, the first week I'm cutting you some slack. You're just going to get your feet under you, get your textbook, start reading. Week 2 is when we actually start doing the usual weekly work for the class. what I recommend is that, you kind of get in a habit of making sure that you get your reflection done earlier in the week, then do your reading and your annotations, then watch your videos, then take your quiz. It's in that order on purpose because my goal is to help you think about the possible ideas that are related to what you're going to read in advance, connected to your real life, and then go through the learning process of really digging into the material. And then finally, your learning assessment is the chapter quiz. In each of these modules, you'll notice these tabs at the top will give you the videos that I discuss. The lecture videos are posted on YouTube, and let me see, I think I have posted the YouTube playlist. That's something I still need to do. There is a YouTube playlist on YouTube for PSY 230. Some students, they like to just, go to the gym, plug their headphones in and listen to the lectures while they're working out, whatever. So it may be easier in some ways to listen to the videos through YouTube. So I will make sure to post that playlist for you before the class goes live so that you'll have it. As always, if you have questions, if you have concerns, if you get into the class and you know that you're having some issues and you need to be late with some assignments, you just need to email me. I'm very accommodating. I'm very flexible. So make sure that, if you run into issues, you have questions, you can call me. This phone number actually goes to Mount Union uses Teams now for phones. Or you can email me at this email address. Like most of you, I have a smartphone and I'm on my email a lot. If you email in the middle of the night, I am not going to respond. I'm a genuine old person, so I stop working at like 9 o'clock. So, but I check my email very, very regularly. So I'm looking forward to getting to know you. Please stop by sometime on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and we can talk further. I did mention that the syllabus is available, and make sure that you read through it. I'm not going to waste your time by going through every item on the syllabus, but do make sure that you read it thoroughly, and that way you'll be able to understand everything that's expected of you. All right, I think that's about it. Make sure that you reach out to me if you have questions or concerns.